The conflict between United States, Israel, and Iran is rapidly intensifying, with violence increasing across multiple fronts. Airstrikes are repeatedly hitting Tehran, targeting what are believed to be key military and strategic locations. At the same time, Iranian missiles continue to rain down on Israeli cities as well as U.S. military bases located in the Gulf region, showing that the conflict is no longer limited to one battlefield but has expanded across the wider Middle East. According to Israeli officials, a significant number of incoming Iranian ballistic missiles have been intercepted and destroyed by advanced air defense systems. These interceptions have helped reduce some of the immediate damage, but they have not been enough to stop the overall threat. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has adapted its tactics, revealing new missile launch sites and continuing to carry out retaliatory strikes. Instead of launching large numbers of missiles, Iran is now focusing on fewer but much more powerful weapons designed to cause maximum damage. This shift in strategy suggests that the conflict is entering a more dangerous phase. Both sides appear determined to continue their military operations despite rising risks. As attacks and counterattacks intensify, the situation is becoming more unpredictable, raising concerns that the conflict could further expand and draw in additional forces or countries in the region. In Tehran, the impact of the ongoing conflict is clearly visible as multiple airstrikes have struck areas believed to be connected to Iran's military infrastructure. Large explosions have lit up the night sky, sending thick smoke across different parts of the city. Several buildings have been damaged or completely destroyed, leaving behind rubble-filled streets and forcing emergency teams to respond quickly under dangerous conditions. Sirens continue to echo as rescue workers search for survivors and try to control fires spreading through affected. Civilians in Tehran are facing growing fear and uncertainty as daily life is disrupted by the constant threat of further attacks. At the same time, Iranian retaliation is being felt strongly inside Israel. Missiles launched from Iran have reached major urban areas, including Tel Aviv, where explosions have caused visible destruction. Buildings have been damaged, windows shattered across entire neighborhoods, and vehicles left wrecked on the streets. Residents describe moments of panic as warning alarms sound, forcing families to rush into bomb shelters with little time to react. People living in affected areas speak about the fear of not knowing when or where the next strike will hit. Many are relying on official instructions and emergency alerts to stay safe, but the uncertainty remains overwhelming. The human cost of the conflict is becoming more apparent as both sides experience destruction, fear, and ongoing disruption to daily life. As the conflict continues, Iran has begun adjusting its military strategy in response to ongoing pressure from Israel and the United States. Earlier in the conflict, Iran was launching dozens of missiles each day, attempting to overwhelm air defense systems through sheer volume. However, that approach has now shifted. Instead of frequent large-scale barrages, Iran is focusing on fewer launches using more advanced and destructive weapons. These include missiles with heavier warheads and, in some cases, cluster munitions designed to spread damage over a wider area. This change indicates a more calculated approach aimed at maximizing impact while conserving resources. By reducing the number of launches but increasing their power, Iran appears to be targeting key locations with greater precision and intent. At the same time, Israel's missile defense systems continue to play a critical role in limiting the damage. Many incoming threats are intercepted before reaching their targets, providing some level of protection to cities and infrastructure. Despite these defenses, not all missiles are successfully stopped. Even a small number getting through can result in serious destruction, casualties, and widespread fear among civilians. This ongoing exchange highlights how both sides are adapting and learning in real time. The conflict is no longer just about firepower, but also about strategy, timing, and technological capability. As both sides refine their tactics, the situation is becoming more intense and increasingly difficult to predict. As the conflict continues to escalate, Donald Trump has announced a temporary 5-day pause on strikes targeting Iran's energy infrastructure, a move that has raised questions about the broader strategy of the United States. While the announcement may appear to signal an effort to reduce tensions, many analysts believe it is more likely a tactical decision rather than a genuine step toward de-escalation. The pause could be aimed at stabilizing global markets, especially oil prices, which are highly sensitive to disruptions in the Middle East. At the same time, There is growing speculation that this break in operations may allow U.S. forces to regroup and strengthen their military position in the region. Reports suggest that additional assets could be deployed, potentially preparing for a more aggressive phase of the conflict. This has led to concerns that the pause is not about peace, but about planning the next round of strikes with greater intensity and coordination. Some experts also believe that the current approach reflects a broader attempt to pressure Iran into making political concessions. The idea may be to weaken Iran's leadership structure through sustained military pressure, hoping that a more cooperative leadership could emerge. However, critics argue that this strategy is unrealistic and could prolong the conflict rather than resolve it. As uncertainty grows, the pause is being viewed less as a diplomatic effort and more as a calculated move within an ongoing and complex military campaign. As the conflict deepens, there are increasing concerns about a major escalation involving ground forces from the United States. Reports suggest that U.S. Marines, including units associated with the USS Tripoli, could be deployed closer to the conflict zone. This potential move is seen as a significant shift from air and missile operations to possible direct engagement on the ground. One of the key strategic areas being discussed is the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global oil shipments. Controlling this narrow passage would have major military and economic implications. If U.S. forces attempt to secure islands or coastal positions near the strait, it is widely expected that Iran would respond forcefully. Iran has long maintained that any foreign military presence in its territory or nearby waters would be met with strong retaliation. Such a confrontation could quickly expand the scale of the war, drawing in additional forces and increasing the risk of a prolonged conflict. Beyond the battlefield, the economic consequences could be severe. Oil prices are likely to rise sharply if the Strait of Hormuz becomes unstable or blocked, affecting global markets and increasing pressure on economies worldwide. For the United States, this could lead to higher fuel costs and broader economic challenges. Analysts warn that what may seem like a strategic military move could trigger a chain reaction, making the conflict more dangerous and far-reaching than ever before. Asterisk.